Hello. Beep, 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 beep. It's me. Good morning. How the devil are we all today? Welcome to the court of the Edijester. Lovely evening yesterday. Lovely day the day before. I've been catching up with the gays. There's been all manner of puffery going on Canal Street and here at Chester Central, as I had two interesting gentlemen over for dinner last night. Much conversation was had around the topics of the day. Very interesting, very, very feisty and rambunctious, which I always enjoy. So, moving forward, let's go. Do you know, some of the responses on the photo that I put up on Facebook the other day saying, oh, lovely day with the... You should see the horrific nature of the responses from some of these bloody people. This is the LGBTQ plus crowd. They're all absolutely insane. I think as we get closer to eradicating some of this nonsense and we push further and further, they'll get worse. But that's just me, maybe, or perhaps you'll let me know whether you think I'm right about that. But not today. Today we shall speak of other things, because we have here a very interesting article from Hugo Timms over at the ever reliable and ever interesting Spiked Online. The headline reads, even Labour is starting to twig that the ECHR is insane. I love it. The ECHR is insane. They're coming to take me away. Hoo-ha. Britain's human rights framework has become a pedo's charter. Pedo's charter. Right. The European Convention on Human Rights has long baffled and angered the British public. Or is it? Yes, that's right. European Court of Human Rights. I'm getting confused. See, this happens. Hardly a week goes by, it seems, without an activist judge armed with the convention decreeing that a dangerous, violent criminal must be spared deportation and should remain in the UK. Such decisions are becoming so egregious that even Keir Starmer's Labour government, which has repeatedly stated its fealty to the convention, has started to call for reform. Speaking at the Council of Europe in Strasbourg this week, UK Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood argued that the ECHR is eroding the British public's faith in the rule of law, especially for the role it plays in preventing the British authorities from deporting foreign criminals. The ECHR too often protects those who break the rules rather than those who follow them, she said. I mean, that the Labour Party, it's just incredible, that the Labour Party Justice Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, should say that there's a problem. That, my God, how we've moved. Do you not think? It strikes me that when Labour start going, oh, fire, this may be a problem when it comes to the human rights framework, is just extraordinary. The ECHR too often protects those who break the rules rather than those who follow them, she said, you see. Interesting. The human rights framework is used in ways that frustrate deportation, even when there are serious concerns about credibility, fairness, and risk to the public. She continued, adding, it's not right that dangerous prisoners' rights are given priority over others' safety and security. Is it me, or is this a change of tone here from the Labour Party and their leader, Keir Starmer, right? A recent pair of cases illustrate this all too clearly. Two men, both living illegally in the UK, are wanted in the native Brazil for murder and rape, respectively. Marlon Martins dos Santos was sentenced to 14 years in prison for repeatedly raping a 5-year-old child, but then fled to the UK before he was jailed. Oh my God almighty. How did that happen? Nicolas Gomes de Brito is wanted back home for allegedly ordering the murder of a rival gang member. Yet Brazil's attempts to extradite both men have failed. Why? Because British judges ruled it would breach Article 3 of the ECHR. The judges concluded, for reasons only they can truly fathom, that being sent to jail in Brazil would breach the convention's rules against torture and inhumane treatment. This can't continue, can it, for the love of God? Unfortunately, the cases of Dos Santos and de Brito are not a quirk or aberration. Indeed, they are very much the rule of law. Last year, a Bangladeshi man, it just says very much the rule. Don't know why I added the word and law then. Touch of lawyeritis. Last year, a Bangladeshi man convicted of murdering his wife escaped deportation on the same Article 3 grounds. The judge found that because he had converted to Christianity, he would be at risk if he was deported to Bangladesh, never mind the risk he might pose to Britons. I do not believe for one second that the post-war consensus against communism and fascism, writing things like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the stuff put in place by one of my heroes, Eleanor Roosevelt, who worked tirelessly with her husband when he was alive to bring this kind of human rights framework to the fore, and then continued to fight tirelessly after he'd gone. I don't think for one second this is what she thought it would be used for. Do you? There's a good question to go with this particular video. Do you think Eleanor would have approved? I wanted the song Eleanor to be about her. It's not. It's sad, isn't it? Eleanor, gee, we think you're swell. But it's not about her. But there was a stage production about her, a musical. All the strange things to make a musical of, Eleanor Roosevelt. Or take the case of Joni Lika, an Albanian drug boss who operated a cannabis factory in Cumbria. In March, it was reported that an immigration judge halted his deportation because it would deprive his daughter of a male role model. This, it was argued, would breach Article 8 of the ECHR, which guarantees one's right to family life. Such is the bewildering and disturbing nature of these decisions that they now rival the Beckhams and Meghan Markle for column inches in the tabloids. Take the Albanian money launderer, please, take him, just take him, who avoided deportation because his son dislikes foreign chicken nuggets. Or the Jamaican drug dealer who was allowed to remain in the UK because he has a child who identifies as trans. Oh, the priestly class makeup. Here they are. Have they arrived? Yeah, the priestly class is here. There is no end to the absurdities served up by the judiciary when the ECHR comes into play. Some cases are nothing to laugh about. Recently, it was reported that Pakistani national Kari Abdul Rauf, who in 2012 was jailed for raping and trafficking a 50-year-old girl in Rochdale, managed to avoid deportation because he was able to invoke his ECHR right to family life. While such a right may sound all well and good on paper, in the hands of Britain's immigration judges, it has effectively become a paedophile's charter, making it near impossible to deport clearly dangerous criminals. This is a failing of epic proportions. I'd be interested to know, is this happening in Finland? Is it happening in Europe or anywhere else? I know Sweden has gone to great lengths to get rid of these men and most of the problematic people that are in their country. But is this occurring elsewhere? Are they doing the same to other countries? This strikes me as a failure on an enormous level. And of course, the natural progression of these kinds of laws that attempt to solidify human rights, which I think it's gone too far. It's become so fragmented that this is allowed. And there should be an overarching law. It needs to have something overarching, doesn't it? If you break the law, if you're found to have broken the law in your country and fled from that country, you know the type of thing I mean? That needs to put, none of this applies if, right? Doesn't mean to say that we're going to, that we agree with torture and we agree with whatever, but there should be much more evidence required that that's the type of thing that's going on. And I don't care, frankly. I don't want them here. And I don't think you do either. Go and have a read of the article, then let me know what you think, because it's worth a read, all right? Hugo's bothered to write it. I'm absolutely convinced that given the time, you can be bothered to go and read it. Other than that, I'm going to find a couch, and I'm going to find a fan, and I'm not moving. How hot was it yesterday? If you can buy me a coffee, please do. Subscribe, like, all the usual stuff. But better still, come and register your interest to be a warrior teacher. We start in October. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.